Basically an electric motor is a stator, which is a housing. Now in that housing there's a whole bunch of electrical windings, and the idea of those windings is when you run electricity through them, anytime you run current through a conductor you generate a magnetic field, even on small wires. So when you put a bunch of windings together, then you can create a larger magnetic field, and you can actually simulate creating a magnet by putting current through those windings that are close together. And as a result, when you simulate that magnet, that's an electromagnet. Now, inside the stator, you have a rotor, which is usually connected to a shaft, for example, a drive shaft. Now, on that rotor is a bunch of magnets. Now, when you run your current, depending on which direction you run the current through your stator, you can simulate a magnetic pole, either north or south, to correspond or to react against the magnet that's actually holding onto the rotor in the shaft. So by creating an opposing pole, you can make the shaft rotate one way or the other by simulating that electromagnetism. And that's what creates motion with an electric motor. Now conversely, or inversely, the other way around is when you run a magnet through a bunch of windings in a stator, say for example when the wheel is turning, you can actually get the magnets to push that magnetism back through the windings and create electricity going in the opposite direction to, for example, a battery or a light, and that's called a generator. So an electric motor, when you've got one in a hybrid, it's actually a motor generator. It can do one or the other. You can create acceleration by pushing electrical current through those windings and pushing those magnets on the rotor, which turns the drive shaft and moves the vehicle. Or the other way around, when you're doing regenerative braking, for example, then those magnets running through the windings actually push that power back into the battery. And it's that resistance of the magnets against the windings in the stator which actually create that reduction of speed or that braking force. So when you have that regenerative braking, as with the Volt where you have the L selection, or in the Camry where you've got the B selection, or in the Mitsubishi Outlander where you have the paddle shifters that have 5 different levels of resistance. And that's what you're doing, you're increasing the resistance against those magnets, and as a result that increased resistance creates an electrical current which charges the battery. Simple. And now I'm in the wrong lane.
In 400 meters, right left turn.
Beat you to it.